Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to this video. As the title of the video shows, this is going to be a bit different than my regular funny moments video. I probably am just going to make this video pretty short because I lack the proper editing capabilities to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to try to do this all in one take, get it out there, and maybe see if I'm wrong on some points, get some people's opinions to see if things are as bad as I think they are. Some things I'm about to discuss I believe are as bad because it has been noted, especially in this recent update that's come out. So drop a comment down below if you agree with what I'm saying, disagree. Maybe I missed something that you guys also think is a bit more of a concern to be brought up. So first things first, right? Let's pull up the newest patch note. Now, the main issue that this patch fixed is modders. Now, it's not really a fix, it's more a separation. So PC removed from crossplay. We had modders on PC that would make themselves invincible, unkillable, that would kill off other people, that would do all sorts of things. And obviously, it was a PC issue. You can't really do those things on console. That's why PC has basically been put in timeout and separated away from Xbox and PlayStation users. That way we continue playing the game in our own cheat-free way. The previous video that I uploaded, which check it out if you haven't seen it, I just realized that the guy that was invisible running around with Leatherface was a modder. Like I'm pretty sure he was a modder who made his character just invisible and you couldn't see him. But that was the main issue right here. So if you have friends on the PC side, you cannot crossplay with them until this has been updated and their anti-cheat system has been approved. So this change right here, lobbies will now launch with 6 players. So if you're like me, who, well, really, if you've played this game, you know how long it can take for matchmaking. Not to be in the queue, but for you to be in the lobby and you're waiting for everybody to ready up. That can take, sometimes it takes longer than the match itself. So you could have a match only lasted for 2 minutes, but I mean, the waiting could take up to 4, 5, 6. Heck, I've seen a video where people, no joke, sat for an hour. For an hour because of people not wanting to play as Leatherface because he's required and still is, which I'll touch on that in a second. So I thought with the lobbies will now launch with 6 players, I immediately thought, okay, they have a majority ready up system. So if 6 people ready up, then it will start the game. It will drop the timer to 5, and then it will go on from there. No, it turns out it's not that. So what it means is that, let's say you found a match and you have a timer for 5 minutes and there's only 6 people, and miraculously nobody joins, no solo joined your match for that 7th slot. It would take you 5 minutes for that timer to go to 0. Then when the match starts, you'll start with 6 people instead of 7. And you can't and if all of you ready up, it doesn't start the match either. Like it doesn't matter. All this means that where lobbies will launch with 6 players, that just means when the lobby timer goes to 0, instead of ending the lobby, it will start with just 6 people. Now they did this to help lobbies get running smoother, quicker, and have less drops due to incomplete lobbies. Here's the thing about that. Nobody is going to continue playing the match if there's 6 people. So if you're a victim, you're down a teammate. You don't want that. Especially if you're a killer, you're down a teammate. You're really screwed then if you only have 2 killers on the map. Like, what you're going to end up trading out for this is people quitting in the match. You're going to settle for disconnects in the match, even if you get there, because no lobbies are going to start. I have not been a part of a lobby that started with 6 players. Never. Why? Because someone will always join in the 7th slot, and when someone joins, the timer increases. Because, again, it doesn't start with all 6 of them readying up. You have to wait for that timer, and people can join it increases the timer, and then leave, and then it just continues, you know what I mean? A snowball effect. Like, it makes this change right here redundant. This does not make the game run smoother. It does not make things faster. It doesn't make the lobbies, you know, a lot more quicker to get in the match at all. It's pretty redundant, especially when you have right there, Leatherface is still required for a match. That tells me that a majority of the player base realize this problem is that Leatherface is required for you to play the match. Not only do you need 7 people to ready up, so that way the timer goes to 5 seconds so the match can start, but you also need one of the killers to be Leatherface. The reason why this is a problem is for multiple reasons. A, you don't gain a lot of XP in the game. You don't really gain a lot. You may get like 1,000. On a very good match, you get 2,000. I've seen someone get 3,000 points, but that's only when they were just doing absurd amounts of stuff to gain XP. You have to do a lot to gain a lot of XP. But that's number one, is XP takes a long time to get. You have to play as specific characters to or level up their specific abilities and perks. So you can't really level up Cook's hearing if you're stuck playing Leatherface. Pretty simple, right? And again, that ties into XP. Every match has got to count. You need to continuously play that character. So people are going to leave. That's the third part. People are going to leave when their character is tooken. And a very easy way to fix this is, or at least for the killer side, is to have it to where Leatherface is no longer required to start the match. It's very simple. I get that big of a change would cause them to update the entire map, especially the barriers themselves, because there's no Leatherface to break it, then the victims are scot-free to run away. So I think an easy change is one of two things. If there's no Leatherface, then either the majority of those barriers are already broken, or allow Sissy and Hitchhiker to be able to climb over those barriers. Now, maybe not as fast as the victims can do it, but give them the ability to do that if Leatherface is not selected. So that is my main issue with this right here, was this patch update right here. It was really just a put PC in timeout and also give PC better graphics without it dropping frames. As you can see here, PC stuttering on ultra graphic frames. But the main issue right here, right next to the hackers and modders, it's gotta be this. Queue times in lobbies take forever, and it's because you're required to play as Leatherface, and you have to have all 7 people ready up, so that way the match can just start. And we've all had, if you play this game, I don't care if you just started, you immediately have lobbies where people just don't ready up, and you have to sit and wait for 2.5 minutes, or 3 minutes, or 4, or 5, or even more. Like I said, there's a video where people straight up waited an hour because someone wouldn't change to Leatherface. So that's my main issue right there. I'm sure that it's pretty, as far as like a hot take goes, this is pretty mild, you know? It's like, if this was like a spicy take, it would be like mayo. This would be like the mayo take, you know? Very cold, very bland, very white. But now I want to step into what I feel is a bit more of a hot take. We'll start off with, again, a small hot take. So first and foremost, Leatherface. Allow Leatherface to attack with his chainsaw turned off. The fact that the big bad guy, the poster boy for this game, is left utterly defenseless at any point in time is baffling to me. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, he can only attack with his chainsaw is turned on. However, at the very beginning of the game, his chainsaw will turn off, and that forces the player to have to turn it on. Now, if you level up to level 3, you can have it to where the chainsaw starts instantly, but again, that requires you to play the character and to play a crap ton of matches in order to get a crap ton of XP to level up to 3. So chances are your average player does not have that yet unless they just main Leatherface. But even still, right, there's still that, if you play the game, you know that when Leatherface is killing off that person, that victim who wasn't selected, aka Sonny, when he's killing them off and he's doing his intro animations, the survivors are already in motion. They're already like escaping their restraints, are already picking up items and all that, right? And the reason why this is a problem, and you can look up videos on this, survivors have now got to the point where they can upgrade their perks so that way they can increase their stun on bone shards or increase their chances of the bone shard not being consumed during a sneak attack. And they can attack Bubba from behind, stunning him and causing him to not be able to turn on his chainsaw, because he has to stop in place and turn on his chainsaw. And when he stops, he's going to get hit in the back of the head again, and he gets reset, and it's just going to keep on going. There's nothing Bubba can do, and his teammates can't help because Grandpa hasn't woken up yet. I think an easy solution here is to allow him to attack with his chainsaw turned off. Probably just half of your savagery meter. So like for me, it would be like 25 savagery meter. I don't know how many hit points that would be, but it's like half of your savagery. That would be an easy fix, because that allows Leatherface to not be defenseless and be at the mercy of Leland stabbing him in the back of the head multiple times before shoulder checking him. And to make my closing arguments as short as I can, because this video is already getting a little bit long, my basic overall point is, at the very beginning, the family has more of the power dynamic between the two factions of family and victims. I mean, it's pretty obvious to say why. But when you go to the victims in the longevity, the victims have so much resources in perks that it's not even comparable to the family. Family, let me show you this right here, right? So here's some perks that you can select from the family. If you have, your stamina consumption is reduced by 10% or to 15 if blood vial is 50%. This right here, attack damage is increased by 12%, but stamina consumption is for attacks is up to 250 to at least 200, but starting off is going to be at 300. And hey, you might be able to combo that in with hysterical strength, because at the very least, if you're at low stamina, then you can deal a bit more damage too, and all that seems fine. And there are a few more of this, but it seems good. I mean, just look at this. Movement speed is increased by 5%, but melee damage is reduced by 30 down to 10. Like, the family, all their perks that have a positive will also have a significant negative. The victim side, they don't really have that. They just have all the positive, none of the negative, right? So you could disassemble bone traps with your bare hands. You can make, or at the very least, Grandpa will not be as alerted to you by 30 up to 100% from the start of the game. So you basically get away with doing just about anything. Noises made interacting with stuff is completely disregarded 3 up to 5 times. Incapacitating Grandpa, you could just tank his levels down from 2, 3, all the way even down 4 freaking levels. You can just zero out Grandpa, just reduce all the family's hard work. Bad blood, if they manage to somehow kill you, even though you have the ability for damage reduction, which I'll show here in a second, regenerating your stamina, regenerating all of your health, if they manage to kill you, then they're going to take a nice 50% damage reduction for 2 minutes, and they'll also be highlighted for 2 minutes, so that's nice. This is my favorite. You can slam the door in the family's face, and they'll be stunned for a total, from starting out 12 seconds to a total of 16. Bro, you know how long gone you'll be if you slam a door in someone's face and they're stuck for 60 seconds? You're gone. The overlooked ability, so it doesn't even matter if Grandpa's at level 5. If you have this, Grandpa cannot spot you at all for a total of 5 times. No cell, just take up to 80% less damage for 3 turns. And then finally, what doesn't kill you. So if you take damage, and as long as you avoid taking more damage, let's say you sneak away, you can recover up to 50%, 75 to 100% of the HP that you lost. So if you're getting absolutely decimated and you manage to run away, then you're just going to regenerate up to 100% of that HP if it's at level 3. So my overall point here is the victim side just has so much value with their perks and none of the downside, while the family side has the exact opposite. There are tons of downsides, and really it's situational for them to even work, while the victims is just all around works all the time. So my overall opinion about that is the victim side, it needs to be nerfed down. Like, it needs to get toned down, or at least put some sort of limiters on there. Like, let's say, for example, that whole not being noticed by grandpa should only apply up to level 4. Once you get to level 5, then he gets to see you. Like, it's just ridiculous, especially when you have a perk that allows you to tank grandpa's blood level that far. I mean, it's just really strong, really ridiculous. My final thing that I will touch about is Connie's instant unlock and the fuse box exit. So there's not a lot of indicators, and this is my overall opinion, is that the family needs more indicators of what the victims are doing or general direction of where they're at. And the reason why is just look at speedruns. People speedrun the fuse box all the time. They'll go into a match and leave in under 3 minutes flat. And the reason they can do that is because Connie instantly unlocks the door, they go to the fuse, boom, boom, opens the door, and then they leave. So I feel like an easy fix for that is to put a timer on the fuse box to let it charge up. That allows the family enough time to get there, turn it off, and of course it will keep the remaining charge that it just put up. And also give Connie more of a downside to her main ability, because it's stamina reduction and reduced family detection, but you could level it up to level 3 and then she'll have no stamina deduction at all. I mean, that's just super overpowered right there. And I know most of my comments are towards the victim side. I get that people might think, oh, it's just a family main, this, that, whatever. No, I play a healthy amount of victim too. But I'm just saying, even I notice that it's very clearly on a one-sided page, and I feel as though that maybe toning it down can really help out. Because are you really going to continue playing a game where you have to wait 3, 4, 5 minutes a match, and then the match ends in like 2 minutes and you didn't gain that much XP, thus makes it harder for you to level up your character that you've been fighting to try and play? You know what I mean? But all in all, I say that's my overall point of the matter. If I missed out on some other topics you guys think needs to be presented, maybe you don't agree or you do agree with what I said, leave it down in the comments below. By all means, I'm more than willing to accept that I'm wrong on some of these things, because again, it's just my opinion, not stating it as facts, just what I see of viewing the game. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe for future content, and I'll see you guys next time.